So, welcome back to Abu Dhabi, welcome back to Yas Marina Circuit, and welcome to an incredibly special day. As the title of this video would suggest, we're going to hop in something special, and said special car we're going to hop in is right here, right now. So we're down here at the Passione Ferrari Club Challenge, and we're about to take you for a really immersive onboard drive in the Ferrari 488 Challenge EVO. Now, it's obviously based on the original 488 Challenge, only it's been heavily augmented and revised, mostly in areas such as aero. Follow me down here and come and check this out. Actually, from a side profile point of view, you can see versus the standard Challenge car just how more aggressive and elongated the nose and front splitter is. Now, this is for improved aero, downforce, and also cooling. So take, for example, these canards, this splitter here, and this is something really subtle which you don't see at first. But this little winglet underneath the wing mirror is designed to channel air directly into the cooling here. So the car is all about revised aero, revised cooling, and basically getting a even more purer race car experience from the car. So a lot of that is through the aero package itself. As I mentioned, it is based on a 488 Challenge, but as the word EVO would suggest, everything has been turned up to 11 to just make it that more direct. They also have specific tires, Ferrari Challenge slicks specifically developed for the car. And inside, I shall share with you shortly, it has a very F1 derived steering wheel. But let's just head around the rear and talk about this colossal wing. And this is obviously one of the components which contributes to the increased amount of downforce. Now, the car weighs, I think it's just over 1,300 kilograms dry. I think it's around about 1,340-ish dry. So depending on fluids and driver, it might just be over 1,400. A lot of the tech in this has filtered down from obviously Ferrari's decades of experience in racing, both endurance and in F1 and sprint racing. It's a 3.9 litre turbocharged flat plane crank V8 developing around about 670 horsepower-ish. So the power to weight ratio is fantastic. It has a huge amount of torque, and in a minute when we take you on board, you got to listen to the way this thing works its way down the gearbox. It is something to behold. One of the things that makes that so special is these new brakes. So it has larger brakes compared with the original 488 Challenge, and together with the larger brakes has been revised ABS and revised cooling. So when I say you can stand on these and be the last of the late brakers, I'm hoping the onboard does it justice, because where you're braking here, I mean, I've said it before, once you've had an experience in a full-blown race car and then you go in even at the most track-focused road car, it makes them feel a bit soft and silly. So in a minute, I'm going to take you out for, I think this is my first drive in a proper Ferrari racing car, which in itself is a monumental moment. Okay, so this car that I've been very kindly invited to drive is actually from Ferrari Saudi Arabia. So thank you so much, team, for bringing this car over here for us to immerse the audience in. Now let's just get involved and show you the wheel, and what self-respecting race car wouldn't have a removable wheel. So this is, as you can see, far from convention. Although it's conventional in high performance race cars, it's not a conventional round wheel. This is the rectangle wheel, the sort of thing that you would find conventionally in full-blown race cars, F1 cars, endurance racing cars. But we have paddle shifts here. The whole thing is carbon fiber, and here are the many variables of traction control and ABS settings and things like that. So we have small cool buttons like pit control, and then we have variable different traction control modes here depending on the grip levels out there. Interestingly, you would think, despite the fact that we are out here effectively in the desert, we would have loads of grip out there. By and large we do, but as the sun goes down and everything settles off, there is a little bit of moisture which builds up on the circuit out here. So sometimes you have to play with your traction control to make sure everything's cool. Now out here as well, it's still really hot. So there is the option to fit a drinks unit. There's a little blue button there, and you can dispense yourself some high octane juice should you need it during a race or a timed session. Talk to pits, windscreen wash. Yeah, it's a very cool thing. And the coolest thing is, of course, the Prancing Horse Cavallino. Believe me, to get into a full-blown bucket seat, pull on those harnesses, and to see the Ferrari logo in front of you, knowing you're in a Ferrari racing car, is a very special experience indeed. So, what else do we have? Down here, lots more settings. This is mostly to do with master switches, turning the car on and off. We also have the ABS settings down here, and also things like wipers, rain lights, and then up here we have the intercoms. Now it is an optional extra to have a passenger seat fitted, which is brilliant because if you want to take friends out, or importantly you want to have an instructor with you while you're driving and learning the car, obviously the extra seat's pretty handy for that sort of thing. And then all of that plugs into the intercom system. So when you're on this thing in full chat, it's actually quite loud. So to have an intercom in your helmet from an instructing point of view, very helpful. Full-blown roll cage. This particular car almost set up to how they would race if you were racing one in the Ferrari Challenge series. This one is quite neutral because it hasn't been set up for any particular driver, but in a minute I very much look forward to immersing you in what that feels like to drive. Also lots of carbon, and anyway, let's crack on with the drive because that's what everyone's here for. All right, so what is the Passione Ferrari Club Challenge? You can kind of think of it as the ultimate track day. Track day, turn it to 11, and as the music over there would suggest, with a bit of lifestyle thrown in. So there's this sort of like no stress environment where you can drive a racing car without having to race a racing car. Owners of Ferraris are invited to bring their road cars down so that they can have an experience of driving a Ferrari on Yas Marina circuit, and those who are extra keen are able to enter into the timed event known as Super Pole, which allows them to take out their challenge cars and pit themselves against other drivers here to see who can get the fastest lap time. So there is a bit of spice thrown in, there is a bit of competition thrown in, but it's not all stress. You can come here, drive 10 tenths, relax outside, grab some great food, hang out with like-minded people. Awesome event. Okay? That's cool, man. Good news. That'd be cool, huh? Thanks for that, Bun. That was really, really cool. Thank you. Look up.
Good job.
Great. Thanks, dude. Thank you.
I think this guy can find a couple more seconds for me.
By getting out of the car.
By getting out of the car.
That's the
Fastest lap of the weekend
for this car.
For this car.
Yeah. That's the fact.
Happy with that then.
Okay, the tyres are at past their best.
Yeah.
You've still got half a tank of fuel, which is because these guys were running low fuel
Yeah.
and on their own, so you could probably take 110 kilos out of the car.
Wow.
But
wow.
a second and a half on these tires, so you've probably got another 2 seconds.
Seriously?
Yeah, you could have
Wow.
done a 201.
201. Wow, that would have been amazing.
Yeah, with tires and low fuel, it would have been a 201.
Fantastic. That would have been great.
Yeah.
Next time, man. That was good. Thanks for that, dude. That was
welcome.
great. Thank you.
Very, very
Thanks
welcome.
very much. I appreciate that. But you're absolutely right. Everything you said as to where I'm like hesitant or the car's not quite settled right is exactly where I know it's not right. Some of it's psychology. I haven't quite committed to the full send through some of it. But it's
But
it's
also,
great fun.
it's impressive that you went quicker in the dark than you did during the daytime,
I didn't really think about that.
which is
Yeah.
it's,
That's cool.
it's unusual.
Is it?
Put it that way. Yeah.
Okay. That,
So
maybe there's some endurance racing in me yet. So, yeah, super happy. We got the fastest time of that car over the weekend, which is really great news. We're really, really happy about that. Racing Drivers Excuse Book, page 86. They have said that so just now we did a 203. Engineers reckon we could have done a 201 with no driver. It had a half tank of fuel and it's on completely shot slicks. There's the same set of slicks which have been on the car for the whole weekend, and it's the end of the weekend. So we reckon theoretical time could be 201 with the optimum setup, or we managed to 203, and I'm really happy with that. So thanks very much Dragon Racing, thanks very much Ferrari Saudi and UAE for hosting us. It's been awesome. Ciao.